smoke. What is that?
El intercambio es un 2 contra 2 y Shai que pone. Y la tercera también, por supuesto.
Here with the coach of Crew Visa, Adam, running away with a very, very impressive split. Now, we were joking about it before in your ready room, on the desk. Genuinely, who is IGLing for Crew?
Genuinely, we are still developing like our system to have a new IGL because we didn't want to lay all that weight or Melzer. But kinda, he's the IGL. He's the one that tries to give more order to the team. But it's not only him, like everybody's trying to get involved, and we are like developing a new dynamic. So we're still on the work, but in theory, Melzer.
Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck on map 2.
Thank you.
All right, I just wanted to show one of these early rounds from NRG that really displays what they were doing with their composition. On defense, it was far more successful. You can see in this early round setup here, they have 4 players towards B, so you know that they're going to go for an aggro play there. And then on the opposite end of the map, they have a great setup for A, the Cypher anchor, and you can see Ethan's dimensional drift there, going all the way towards screens, which is where it's going to end up. So he can TP to A if necessary. But their play is going to work out perfectly because all of those Crew players are here towards that B side, right? So you have Ethan coming out with a dimensional drift, who's just been fantastic on this Yoru, getting all of the information on all these player locations. And then, because of that, when he sees Heat isolated here, you're going to then see, look at these 3. There's the breach ready to stun that line, the paranoia to come through into Ramen as well. And as it plays out, it goes perfectly to plan. There's the stun, there's the paranoia. Even that stun from the Neon came in as well. So he's fully ISO'd. The Yoru TP's out. It goes perfectly. And from there on out, things slowed down and NRG end up winning out the round, But I think it just illustrates that they come into these games with these different comps with great set little ideas, but the depth over the course of an entire game just isn't there for them yet. They don't look free-flowing and comfortable in other rounds when they don't have set pieces. But the linchpin to that, and the guy who's really been standout, is Ethan, and that just has to be recognized. He has been so good for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Wyatt, thank you so much for your telestration. That was amazing. I think it is safe to say, Athena, that Ethan was cooking on the Yoru.
I mean, he was doing a great job. Not only was he going for certain aggressive plays, he was also getting a lot of info for his team. And I mentioned before during the halftime that he had so many times where he just had his ult and he used every single one to perfection, I feel like, and in the instance that he was in.
Yeah, they definitely had some, like you already pointed out one of them, some cool ideas with the composition. And it's just about that team taking it over the line past that and being able to convert wins otherwise, because Crew were looking pretty ideal in almost every capacity. The reason I say almost is because I believe in gun rounds they didn't have that advantage, but they were converting a lot of 4v5s that they probably shouldn't have. Look, 7 out of 12 4v5s being converted when they lost that first player. And I think that's, again, it really does just diagnose and pinpoint the issue currently for NRG being they can't get it over the line. If they get that first advantage, maybe the trading's not there, maybe the mid-round is just a little bit of miss, but it's Crew being able to barrel their way through those scenarios. It doesn't matter because they've been together longer as a team, as a core, as a unit. Even though they're subbing in, MTA last minute, they've still got that team play there. And these guys are no slouches. This entire squad can still hit back.
I mean, that's a really, really big point, is again, they have a roster change that they've barely had time to practice with, and this is how they're playing. It looks so clean. There's definitely synergy. There's definitely a proper understanding of all their fundamentals. And we heard in the interview where they're still trying to build and confirm that structure. So I think for that, Crew has just done a phenomenal job this map.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's hear what Chet has to say before we head to map 2.
Here with the coach of NRG, Chet. They ran away with their map pick of split. We're going into your map pick of Ascent. Going into this, you have to win this in order to bring it to a map 3 in order to keep your playoff chances alive. What was the conversation you had with your boys back there?
I just said, like, position-wise, like, we sometimes get in these really good spots, but we just fail to understand, like, where to trade or how to play off each other right now. And we're, like, pretty experienced, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I got kind of upset at the talk that we just had. But I still want the guys to know, like, I trust them and stuff, but we just have to we just have to know how to convert these rounds. Like, it's so bad that we're letting them run away, like rounds that just seem like impossible.
Well, best luck on map 2.
Now, Athena, it seemed like Chet was preaching to the choir because you were just like, yup, yup. So they know what the issues are, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally exactly what we've all talked about, where we feel like the teamwork is the big problem here, the synergy, the trading, the fundamentals. I mean, these are veteran, seasoned players of Valorant and of other FPS games, and they're still struggling with those slow fundamentals.
I'm a little bit concerned for NRG because this isn't something that you can solve from one map to the other, really. I mean, it should be baked into this squad with how long they've had on the major stage, right? International tournaments together as a team and a unit, but they've taken a long break and they've got new players in, and that changes up the entire flow of how you play as a team. Like they were saying, I mean, Chet knows what the problem is there when they get themselves in the advantages. They can't trade effectively. They can't actually convert past that point. They're moving into what? Ascent as the next map?
Yeah.
That is a tried and tested map. We already know the book. It's been written and set in stone for eons now.
And they have not played by the book at all in this stage. You know, they come in with 2 roster changes, and then they just are one of the most experimental, if not the most experimental team we have, and they might regret that. I mean, frankly, at this point, with the issues they're having, you kind of feel like maybe they should have just brought this back to basics.
Yeah.
I think earlier, Wyatt, you mentioned something really good too, where you said that they come in with these set plays, but the second that they kind of stray away from them is when they kind of struggle. And again, it just goes all the way back to these points. And Brent, I kind of disagree with you with the fact that you don't think it's going to be able to be fixed that fast, because I do think it might just be a miscomm kind of issue.
Yeah.
It feels at that point that it should be something they could come back from, especially with all this experience under their belts. But I mean, again, Ascent, tried and true. It's the map of Valorant to play, and I feel like when you come into that, there's less likely to be those minuscule mistakes, but maybe more likely that, you know, they mess up their rotations or stuff like that.
No, I completely agree that I mean, NRG should be capable of fixing it from one map to the other. I don't know, man. I would be feeling a little bit better if I was like, by God, is that Demon 1's music? And he just walks out onto the stage. And Victor just, you know, takes a back seat and we get the Demon 1 jet again.
Damn,
because I genuinely don't think that they don't have it cooking when it comes to, I think the reason they're playing so many experimental comps and forced into that is because they don't have firepower, because they can't easily fit themselves and mold into these standard comps that we know that teams should be able to play on Ascent. So if they come out with some experimental stuff, sure, it might work, but genuinely, we've seen teams try and cook on Ascent. We've seen them try and change the formula, and it never works. It comes out burnt almost every single time. So we're going to get the Victor Jet. He's had performances that have been good in the past, but you're shaking your head, Wyatt.
Obviously, I'm concerned. Victor's Jet has looked good at times, but again, looking at Ethan, I mean, he has taken over Ascent games on KO, where this is typically the Jets' playground, but I think, again, he's going to have to be the guy for them.
Well, can NRG get a map and keep their playoff hopes alive? Well, let's find out and send it back to your casters. Here's Doug and Baby Bang.
Thank you so much. It is almost fitting that NRG play one map to stay alive, one map to continue to be able to fight for playoffs, and it's Ascent, a map where they've gone to so many times, a map where they've tried innovating, they've tried remaining standard, they have had some of their highest highs, and they've had some pretty low lows here on this map too.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the nature of a map like Ascent. Sometimes it works out for you. It all depends on how you start on this attacking side. It's so important for NRG to win the pistol round, not get eco'd, and at least chip away at a bonus.
I think one thing I very quickly need to draw attention to, the Ness was talking about it, Wyatt mentioned it, Bren did too. Vic hasn't played Jet in a really long time. Last time, April in 2023 up against Cloud9. It's been a hot minute, over 400 days. And yeah, it's been good sometimes when we saw it in the past, and sometimes it has struggled. But there's no time like the present to find some of that success. NRG, you mentioned the ever dire need to convert this pistol, to get a good ball rolling on the attack side. They get onto B for free.
And the craziest thing about all this is while we were talking about that, there was pings in CT and T spawn actually. So crew were aware that FNS was in spawn that entire time, and Melzer got the kill and flushed them out. Now it's a 4v5 for NRG.
You see that paranoia come out. Kesna has to take a step back, but it's traded. All the utility soaring through. Ethan has already fallen. Shy trying to stay alive, trying to keep things close. I mean, look at the health bars. They're all so weak. They're all so low. NRG looking really comfortable in this pistol, but Crashies is weak. Vic is too. Time is short, though. And for Crew, you've got to go, and you've got to go fast. Heat's Ghost. Is that going to be enough to clean things up? No. Psalm with 3 as NRG get the pistol.
It was scrappy, but NRG, a good response to take all of that CT area after FNS dies there. Had NRG not done that, they're very limited on the space that they can play, and we've seen so many teams crumble when they just opt to play in that back site, especially in a 4v5. It was a great counter flash from the side of Melzer that set up a lot of the kills in the entry, but yeah, that 3-player crossfire with 1 player being in CT like that, it's just too many angles that you have to worry about from the side of Crew.
Bulldog, the Guardian. There's some notable investment here. And I know we just had this conversation, but I want to continue to keep it at top of mind. They've invested a Vandal in the hands of Vic. They're setting him up for success as best as they can.
And he played pretty well on that last map on the Neon in terms of his actual mechanics and the aim when he was actually able to do that, when he wasn't, you know, getting stunned or hit by a paranoia. So he can really do some damage into this game, but they're running into another stack.
But again, there's no real gun on the other side. I mean, Melzer's got a shorty, Kesnit's got a Marshall, but he's not even on the site.
Yeah, you're so right. No gun, no really set utility here. It's basically a full save other than Kesnit buying that gun. Now turret just being used.
MTA has his dart. Try to light things up, but Vic, uh-oh.
That's a Vandal.
That's an upgrade for MTA as he strikes with a second. But the blood out from NRG, it seemed like it was going to be good, but Kesnit now. A 1v2, Psalm is weak. Never saw him.
Only 2 guns saved for NRG. It wasn't too clean. They ran into another stack and they're getting punished for it. How many times are they going to keep getting lucky, I guess you could say, in these scenarios? When you run your head into a wall, eventually it will take you out, knock yourself out. So it's going to be a scrappy buy for NRG on this bonus, and a lot riding on Victor right now, who has the only Vandal.
Crashies has a Guardian, but you're right, on the other side of the stage. Much more firepower.
Here we go, it's the exchange. A main for B main. Trip not broken though. So FNS doesn't need to be too worried right now. Still needs to be having his eyes dialed in on B main. Somebody could, you know, walk up, push forward, but
yeah,
in the mid round, that triple will pay out.
Yeah, I also think given the KJ setup that they have on B, I can't imagine Crew are going to want to take some of this space. They had the turret, just got cleared out. A nano as well. I like this from NRG though. They're taking some of that utility away. They're making some presence B. But all eyes are set A.
Yeah, this is good calling right now from the side of NRG. Good mid-rounding. If this door is broken by FNS, could be disaster for Crew, but they're going to jump the gun on Cat.
I think the fact that that drone just saw Finesse mid and didn't see much more should be enough of a cue. Look at where Crew are already. They have everyone here.
30 seconds left.
A quick punish.
Vic never even landed. As the rifles for Crew, the early ability to arrive on the scene is the difference maker. Finesse is able to punish with his one. But the turret, I guess the peskiest of them all. So 13 seconds left. Not able to settle. Shy with 3 as Crew are on the board.
Great damage for NRG though, even though it didn't go as planned. I felt like the mid-rounding was good. I feel like FNS set up the round pretty good in general. Just the key factor is after that drone connects in the mid, I think NRG jumped the gun a little too early, speeding up into Catwalk. A lot of the players on Crew Visa, they're going to be ready for that. They're going to be ready for the speed up. That's why you already saw a bunch of players backing up, anchoring into the actual A site. And Ethan, yeah, he hit 2-3 players with that dagger, but that Omen smoke on site from Melzer was already out and in full effect.
Cover going out.
If that door gets broken, that B market door gets broken, that leaves at least 2 players in B, and now you have better odds.
Cool little shock setup at the very beginning of the round to clear the alarm bot mid. And instantly, Crew have to snap back that way.
They're so fast on re-clearing the space. The energy has been taken.
He's passed. Oh, he didn't know anyway. Vic falls. The judge again causing problems. Now they've got the paranoia. They're going to have to navigate through. Finesse not able to settle the shots. It's a slaughter as Crew get their second.
Absolute destruction. Melzer, he came up huge with that judge on Cat. And yet not many angles that he really needs to look at that moment. That KO Molly isolates anybody from the right to deal with Melzer in that moment. All he has to do is look left. Shy, in that entire fiasco of things happening, he already had walked down into bottom mid to re-clear all that space. So do NRG identify that Crew are playing in this way? And do they make an adaptation? It's been instantaneous re-clears from the side of Crew.
And I think NRG have tried playing in those timing windows. I mean, you think about, they tried striking as the re-clear was happening mid. It's not like they're not playing around him, but again, I think it, I mean, Bren mentioned it on the desk. It feels like NRG lacked the firepower, and I think we're seeing some of that here.
Yeah, it's not only that, but the team cohesion right there. It's Ethan trying to walk in alone. Yeah, he finds the timing on Melzer. But an insta-trade happens, and no one even remotely close to follow up. So it's NRG right now that are trying to win the match this half off of heroics. And to be fair, it's still early on in this half, but these last couple of rounds from Crew, they've looked so clean.
I think you're right. It is early. It's also the unfavorable side. Just give you guys a little bit of, for the NRG fans, a little hope. Kesnet with the op online, though. It's also worth noting, Shy one away from his lockdown. And we've talked about how devastating of an ult that can be on the defensive side of Ascent.
Yeah, it's so good. Crashies does have the Hunter's Fury to answer. And it's this little weird mind game where you have to, you know, hold on to one or the other.
Yeah, it's a game of chicken. Who goes first?
If Crashies invests this early on, if he uses his ult first, and Shy gets a kill on the actual exec, it's going to be really bad for NRG, so he might have to just hold on to it for the entire round.
The knife tagging one. Oh, he was right next to him. Big play from Finesse. Able to open up the side a little bit more. There's the Hunter's Fury, but Shy's dead. So no lockdown to worry about. Nothing to think of there. Meanwhile, MTA with 70 HP now was trying to dance around, tried to stay alive, succeeded. Crashy is just trying to re-clear across the middle of the map. It might not matter. It might not be necessary. Kesnet with the op cannot connect. We're tied at 3.
And I said it, NRG, they're going for solo heroics on these plays. This time around, it's the IGL, the captain, FNS. He solo ran up Cat and flanked Heat into that smoke, that door smoke. Such a risky play, but his timing, it was so good. Amongst all the chaos of utility that was flooding the site for NRG, he found that window of opportunity to get that kill, and it opened up the entire site for his squad. 3 rounds is pretty good so far for this attack side, and it's an attack operator from Victor to be met by one on the opposite end of Kesnet.
Currently posted up mid. Has blades, a lot of ults. I mean, you're 1 pip away from having a full stack of ults on the defensive side.
Yeah, not much to work with from the side of NRG. You kind of just gotta hope that Victor can get some type of pick off of all the commotion you're making on the other side of the map. This drone and Cypher Cage actually baited out Kesnet to leave that A main angle. So now Vic, he will have the advantage if he slowly creeps up here.
Yeah, there's also nothing watching mid. So you're right, kinda has to look at that.
Yeah, usually it's the operator that comes on top in these battles. There it is, Victor. He sees an elbow, gets the kill for free.
Following the script, and now pushing forward. Has the blades. There's a battle up top, and Kesnet bests him. Now he's the one with blades. Has to take a step back. Suppressed. No longer in play. Finesse on the late lurk. Heat ready for it, though. You saw his crosshair turn. It doesn't matter. Finesse gets a kill. NRG keeping Crew back, at least for now. MTA in a 1v2. That was almost messy, but NRG take the lead.
Flurry of exchanges in Garden, in Catwalk. And again, yeah, FNS besting Heat in that 1v1, just like the previous round. so much relying on FNS. This was a great entry from Victor. A little bit of an overheat, but it's FNS with the impact kills right now.
And it looked like he caught heat with utility out.
Exactly. His timing has been so good these last 2 rounds. He's basically solo won the rounds for his squad.
Oh no, Vic got left hanging. That's tough, man.
It's okay. They're in the lead of this half, this attack side Ascent. One of the hardest attack maps in the game, hands down. Used to be split. Oh, how that's changed.
MTA's playing up real close here.
Oh, Kesnet. He was also playing that one close. Victor spotted him. Wasn't able to connect a shot onto him, but super slow approach. FNS getting info that he is still playing Catwalk. Victor got info that Kesnet was in market last, and I think that's why you're seeing a gear up towards A, but Kesnet, his reposition has been great so far.
All he has is a Guardian. Oh, Melser, what are you up to?
He can be so deadly in this spot if he's not cleared.
He's got a paranoia.
Oh, he's gonna get mollied right here, maybe. Going out. What a great molly.
Nicely done.
Yeah, not skipping any steps right now.
Very nicely done. Things that you'd expect out of NRG is those little things, right? Those little micro decisions, making sure no stone is left unturned.
Super smart play right now.
30 seconds
And
left.
look, FNS's lurks the last couple of rounds have so many members of crew worried about that.
Spike planted.
Kesnet still has a Guardian in hand. You imagine they're going to try to go as the smoke goes down.
Might be able to get this kill. Yeah. Victor, he was on an island right there. No trade to follow up. It's a 3v3, but the crossfires might be enough.
Yeah, you've got an Op on one side and Odin on the other.
Oh, risky play to pull out the dart in that scenario, and he gets punished because of it. But Sam, he's been cooking right now.
Can MTA do this? Oh, he can. Nice snap from Sam. He gets his third as NRG get another.
Little transfer of the operator on a Sam. He pops off in the post plant. He's sitting at 12-3 right now. He's dominating right now. The 2 new members, the OG members, basically, they're the ones that are really keeping this competitive for their squad, making Crew Visa have to commit a timeout.
Big play from Sam there. I think, you know, we've had this discussion so many times about attack side of Ascent and how many rounds are enough. NRG have already gotten to 5. Dre, I think if you're Crew, you've gotten pushed around these last couple of rounds,
yeah,
right? The flanks from Finesse have been problematic. Sam has been up to his Sam antics.
Seriously, yeah.
What are the adjustments you need to see out of Crew here?
I think they did a really good job early on of being proactive off the rip. And like, with that proactivity, they're able to stack a site that NRG are gonna hit. Now, they need to just be worried about that one solo lurk of FNS in mid, who the last, I don't know, couple rounds that Crew have had a good read, he's been actually just getting the one up on Heat. Heat needs to live a little bit longer in these rounds. So I'm trying to have Heat maybe take some more passive of fights, passive of angles, and just let the game come to them, because Crew, we saw how good they were when they actually anchored the hits, the executes. They weathered the storm really well with the utility that NRG threw and whatnot. It's when they're getting spread apart where NRG are finding the man-up advantages, and this time around converting them.
They were successful when they were down. We'll see how they can do it when they're up. Op still in the hands of Vic. Meanwhile, an Odin for MTA. Currently posted a B, as you would expect.
Yeah, and then Odin for crashes as well, so it's kind of scary to spam that default spot at least. That's why, I think that's why you see him repositioning, picking up towards market.
You got to know what's on the other side.
Yeah, they're playing for this as well.
So alarm bot is still up, and it's much more shallow than we normally see.
Now that's knives pop from Vic as well. Vic is going to get a freebie on a Kesnet there.
And then the little peek to look for the second. The blades up. Knives online. Off of the paranoia. He dashes forward, takes the space. You've got 2 members of Crew who are playing on side with the world of hurt beneath them. But the pain comes from the defense. MTA shy. What a hold. Still so much asked of them, but I think all the onus is now on Crashies.
That was so ridiculous. It's not over quite yet.
Standing.
It is a 1v4 though.
It might be. It very well might be. Yeah, MTA's weak, but the freeze is so nice. They know they've got him cornered. Crashies has to go aggressive here, try to isolate his gunfight as best as he can, but now he's blind, and now he's dead. Great response from Crew.
That was so crazy from Shy. He jump peeked the one-way, takes out Ethan, and then while all that's happening, MTA, he locked downstairs by his lonesome. NRG, they did a really good job to the start of that round. I think they paused at the right moments, but it was heroics from Crew that saved it. Look at that. Jumping into the one-way, and then this right here from MTA, they just line up for him. Oh, a little bit of whippage from the knives of Victor. NRG, they were set up so well to win that round, but it got stolen away from them.
Which has been Crew's approach. It's been where they have found success so many times in the series. And it seems like that's not changing, at least not anytime soon. You got the alarm bot back up, not nearly as shallow as it was before in the middle of the map. Cam clearing recalled, but the turret B and the nano have already been dealt with, so the only bit of utility that's up right now is that alarm bot mid.
Now you have no dash as well for Kesnet. Sam commits this.
But Melser did too. Melser's joined the fray. Sam's up by himself. He's got to stay alive here. As long as he can, a massive kill from him. But they haven't dealt with Melser. Do they even know that he's here?
I don't even think Sam knows he's here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, he knows now.
Yep. And now all crosshairs turn his way. He's able to get 2. 3 left to be found, but he cannot convert.
This time, NRG learning from the previous round. I'm so impressed with them right now. They're learning in real time. Quick adaptations being made. This time around, when they get stalled and there's 2 players back at B, they freeze and they get picks elsewhere. Yeah, Sam was a little risky. He was alone for quite a bit of time on site, but he won his 1v1.
He did what he needed to, and again, it was off of finesse setting him up, right?
Yep.
We talked about the cam, how it cleared the turret, popped the nano, and then they were able to commit once they saw there's no one else there. But that's still, I mean, Dre, it was successful, but it could have been really bad.
Very true.
Melser could have won the round by himself.
Yeah, he could have. Had he peeked out earlier. So there's still a little bit of disconnect in the communication, perhaps, for NRG. But they've been starting off these last couple rounds great. I feel like they've been getting the first blood quite a bit. Of course, it gets faded.
Naturally.
Yep.
But again, for Crew to, or for NRG, excuse me, to have won 6 on the attacking side is a big win. Or at least it should be. Conventional wisdom would suggest that's snappy.
What a one-tap from FNS.
Roll back the years, brother.
And he's shutting up all the haters right now. Who can't aim? The problem here is that Heat, I think he's ahead of this one. Crashies gets taken out. That was such a nice shot from Heat. That's the spike down right now.
And the knife is going to confirm that there's nobody else coming in from spawn. This is a really nice play up from Sam. You've got to be cautious, though. He gets away with it.
You have to. There's no other choice in the round. You got to commit.
Big play. The thievery there keeps the round alive for NRG.
Hey, sometimes you just got to puff that chest out and go for it.
Numbers the way of the defense, though. What do you have? Ethan has a flash.
Might be able to set up Sam for a little counter punch. Up.
There goes the flash.
Flash for flash. Still advantage for Crew right now, but this little peek.
How does he get both? How does he get both? Heat with 3 on the round.
Little nasty transfer right there, huh? Sam, he connected onto one player in the smoke while he was trying to transfer onto Heat. Who knows? If the bullet connects onto Heat, they probably convert that round, but it's another round for Crew. And they're staying into this one, but 6 rounds, that's so good for NRG.
Yeah, they just weren't able to convert on the numbers. Crew played that as well as they could.
Nasty work. I'm surprised Sam even got that spike out. Oh, those bullets were so close to connecting as well. Transfer was almost there. Look at this. Sam and FNS at the top. Now they need the help from the squad, but honestly, when you're winning attack side Ascent like this, you're doing a lot of things right. They look way better than the last map on this attacking side, that's for certain.
A 7-5 half would be such a gift.
Seriously, you could even afford to lose the pistol at that point. Oh, this is such a big connection for Crashies. He gets both kills. Melser and Heat are out of the fight.
Heat seeking. Kesnet dashing back. Vic on the swing. A really nice half for NRG, man.
This is the scary side of NRG. When they turn up like this and they look fundamentally sound and the players are popping off, when FNS is dropping bombs on you, it's the scariest squad you could play up against, and another lurk kill for FNS.
I think part of the problem is it hasn't been scary all stage.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see them look like this. A 7-5 half on attack on Ascent is really damn impressive.
Switching sides.
Winning a lot of good rounds. The setup to the early game was great. The mid-rounding was great from NRG. They probably could have scrapped a couple more rounds than this even. What a great half and a good buffer that they are able to work with now.
It feels like some of the heroics and some of the, I guess, fortunate plays, whatever you want to call them, that weren't going their way on Split are starting to come through in a massive way on Ascent. I think about Crashies and that 2K he was just able to get off the Hunter's Fury.
Seriously.
You don't often find that level of success, so for him to get 2 there, essentially securing the round is really nice. We'll see what the Death thinks of that first half. Akeem, take it away.
Thank you so much, Doug. Well, it appears NRG have awakened on Ascent, and specifically, Sam and FNS have been activated.
Dude, the brain fog has cleared. They
Yes.
are seeing clearly more than 3 kills on FNS. Sam is our first one up. This guy, he's dominant again. I mean, my streamer feels strong, man. This is it. This is what you were looking for if you're an NRG fan.
No, this was the guy who was the best controller in North America last year in 2023, and finally seeing some of that. And I mean, same with FNS. Obviously, he's not been individually great so far in Stage 2, but he's stepping it up here. These timings, the flanks were really nice. And as an IGL, big credit to him. It's those attack round the win rate you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Being up on attack rounds on Ascent, a defensive-sided map, super good.
You're going to be feeling real good about that. And Finesse, I mean, this guy had to pull up the full screen stat card. Up to 12 kills. Oh my goodness, FNS is doing it finally on the board. But it's looking primed and ready. We were talking about, I was mentioning, could have been a firepower problem, for this squad, and whether Victor was going to be up to scratch against a player like Kesnet. But so far, they've been keeping the game plans very simple, very clean, and guess what? It's working.
Exactly. We're just back to basics. Stuff that these guys have all played a million times over. This is a map that FNS has called on a million times over, with this comp a million times over. Knows it like the back of his hand. There's a reason they can be so successful on attack here. They've just stripped the game back down to the fundamentals, and they're doing excellently with that being the case.
100%. And this is exactly what you want from an IGL, one that can frag out. Now we're going to send things back to our casters for the second half.
Thank you so much. An impressive performance for NRG. Yes, again, the attack side, they come out on top at half, which is very rare to see. And the way they did it, as Bren was mentioning, was back to basics, back to keeping things simple. All the questions about firepower are apparently being answered by Finesse and Sam. But honestly, if they keep the standard the way they should, there's reason to think that we're going to sunset.
Yeah, seriously, especially now that Ethan and Victor are on the defensive side, they're going to be really able to get active. Also, Crashies, he's another defensive side GOAT on a map like Ascent. He's had so many impactful performances where he's dropped 20 bombs, 30 bombs, and mainly on that defensive side. So a lot to look forward to for NRG right now.
But I do think if I can cast a shadow the other way, is that if there's someone to look forward to, it's going to be Kesnet on the attack. The guy's been raid bossed right now. He has light armor, he has a ghost in hand, and he has a kill on Vic.
Yeah, that's why they do that for him. These two players in Hell, FNS and Sam, the duo in tandem, they get caught with utility out. He cleans them up for free.
Both drop.
Look at that. What a shock dart to basically even the numbers.
But now he's left in a 1v2 and he's locked out of the sight. The door fades away, and now Crashies goes forward. Shy commits to the plant. Top fragging for Crew at half. First it was the door, now it's the one-way. Crashies with no easy way in. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, and once this one-way starts fading, the players of Crew are going to be looking towards this door, and that's why he gets taken out. A pistol round win from the side of Crew, answering back. What a job well done from the side of Crew. He got so much value here in Hell, cleaning up those 2 kills, and Ethan and Crashies, they tried their best to retake that. It was a 2v4 retake they had to commit into.
And it worked. They've invested big here. 4 rifles.
All light armor. This could be scary. It's not going to be a gamble stack from the side of NRG, though. Or maybe it will be. Oh!
There's
disgusting shot, huh?
There's one of them. Again, Sam answering the call.
And that's the dash. The dash is gone. They will be able to cycle this gun onto Shy, who has full armor. So now, a lot riding on Shy's shoulders. And the weird thing is once you get dropped like that early on, you kind of want to group up, and that can work against you in moments like this. Very limited on info. But they're picking the right side. If they do end A here, NRG have left that area. Oh, NRG are going to be ahead of this one unless there's another pivot towards Catwalk.
Yeah, but with what guns, man?
Yeah, true. It is a pivot as well. This is a play out of the book I thought NRG should have done when that door gets put up. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But I love this too. There's an additional layer to this. They freeze the round. So now the knife goes out back B, but Sam has not moved an inch.
Interesting choice to still commit onto this B site. Maybe it's because there was only one hit by that dagger. Oh, a little bit of a whiff from Ethan, but his job is just to be a nuisance and set his squad up. That pop flash could be deadly.
The nade was really nice. Crash uses on the swing as he gets to
Spike down B.
another mess. Is that what we're in for? Yeah. A thrifty round converted for NRG.
And who did they do it off of? Sam. Getting that one dig, that one sheriff headshot in A main. So disgusting. The crosshair placement was immaculate. He's sitting at 16 and 7, and he took out Kesnet of all players.
That was NRG's first thrifty of the entire series. And that's going to make things so much more difficult for Crew because they have to find success on attack. You look at their entire year, their win rate on attack on Ascent is pretty poor.
Yeah.
It's 37%. Yes, you don't expect teams to be winning on it anyway, but Crew have to find a way to succeed here, and that thrifty just made things so much more complicated.
Just made it way harder on themselves. And they're not doing themselves any justice here. Dropping off early as well. Really good work so far from NRG to deal with that aggressive play.
Yeah, it's interesting decisions they're making here. They continue to put tools in the hands of Shy. He was the one who had to rifle that round. Melser's frenzy, I mean, surely can't stand in the face of that. No way.
Yeah, too much adversity.
Yeah, Finesse cleans him up. NRG gets to 9, and I mean, now Crew are back on rifles. Maybe they find some success here.
Victor and Crashies, they're starting to heat back up into this game. Victor, he's got to be net positive. He was, what, 7 and 11?
Something
going
like
into
that,
this half, something of the sort. Now he's about to be positive. Yeah, you can be so enabled on the Jet on the defensive side. Even Ethan getting in the mix of things. You saw him in that thrifty round. That pop flash from Spawn, yeah, he didn't connect. He didn't get any chip damage on the players going stairs, but that flash is so deadly. It's almost way too devastating.
Careful here. Oh, he manages to get away.
Down mid.
Amidst the barrage of bullets, he dashes to safety. Still got the op, and he's going back for a second dip, isn't he?
I like this from Victor. This is a play that I don't see him do too often on the Jet. It's nice to see that he's confident in his own right on this Jet. We see how insane Jet on the defensive side can be. Now he opts to get off that angle, get into heaven. Another good reposition from Victor.
Kesnet will be the tip of the spear. Without a dash, though. Without any armor. Without a dart. Health. He's just dealt with. They're walking into the crosshairs of NRG here. This is such an effortless looking hold.
Seriously. They look easy breezy for the side of NRG. This is their map pick for a reason. I guess Split was Crew's map pick for a reason as well. But man, NRG look way better on this map of Ascent. The way that they're even playing off with one another. And I think it's familiarity, yeah. Every single member on this team has played this comp before. Victor's played Jet a ton on this map. Before they had Demon 1 in those trials in the start of this year, he was the one that was filling in on that duelist role. Yeah, there were some other tryouts.
That shock hurts, man, right at the beginning. And now the spam. Not connecting.
Yeah, he gets counter spammed by Sheriff, but still doesn't take him out too much for wear. Victor, he's so proactive right now with that operator. He's really confident. That's why we saw him opping on the Neon in the last map. This time around, he was able to have a warm-up already beforehand. That's why he's popping off right now on the defensive side. And Sam, he's going to have to pop off here. This KO pop flash could be disaster for him.
It's often a mess.
There it is. He's got to get out.
Turn, the smoke goes up. He finds some safety. Nicely done, but I think Recruit here, what they were looking for was the space, and they found it.
Oh. It's an early op shot right there, but the knives to follow up. Goes 1 for 1. FNS. So worried about mid. He gets caught from Garden, but it's Ethan and Sam. The side anchors. What can they do?
My ult's ready.
A 2v2 now. Ethan's so weak. 18 HP. Melser with a rifle in hand. He does too. They've been able to upgrade everything. That nade is nice.
30 seconds left.
Heat, do you have another miracle in you? Do you have another big moment?
It's a drone to fish him out. This might be too much to ask for. He doesn't get tagged by it, though.
But they've spotted him. They know where he is. The reposition. Managing to dodge the first shock.
Man, if he is aware of this catwalk flank, this would be insanity. He gets the kill, dog.
He's gotten it down to 1. Heat on the snap, but again, it's Crashies. We'll get NRG to 11.
Yeah, Crashies has the full advantage there, but you just never know when you're up against a player like Heat. He's been so good on this roster. Crashies cutting it a little close right now, huh?
Uh-oh. He got half shirts, right?
He's got it.
Yeah,
he's got
okay.
it.
Well,
calculated. Yeah, he still had a second and some change. No doubt in his mind.
Managed to save the op. 1 away from his ult. We'll take a look at that again. Steady hands.
Nasty work. That molly in the beginning. So good. And yeah, I mean, he had a chance.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't an insta-kill there from Crashies. It can be so hard to control the spray when you're not ADS'd with that Odin. But it would have been a miracle shot on top of that. So, Crew Visa is the last timeout for Ascent. And they're down 11-6. NRG still have 2 timeouts to work with and a big buffer. And their economy is insane.
A brief moment for Adam chat with the troops.
It's tough.
It's so tough.
I don't even know what to call in a moment like this with how NRG have been playing. They've been getting the first bloods quite a bit on this defensive side. Victor has been very mobile with the op, changing his position frequently, and then still getting value on the actual retake with it when the hits are coming through. I mean, do you run into Sam at A site, who's got support from Ethan?
And who's also 20-9.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, like, that's certainly not a good choice. And then you're right, it's the op on the other side. And then it's Finesse's utility.
Exactly. So the crazy thing now is NRG have shut down this A hit so many times that now they can afford to play this core of the fighting squad, is what I like to call it, the double initiator and Jet, towards the B. And that's why you see FNS setting up trips for Sam at A. The likeliness of Crew going back to A site with everything that we just stated is so low. So they're playing the odds to their advantage right now.
Kazna pops the blades immediately and just as quickly. An ult is exchanged.
It's just so free, huh?
There's just no way in, man. There's really no way in. He's been brought back into the fold.
I cannot use that.
But I mean, Kazna's blades were a big part of the equation there.
Yep. Super readable, though. FNS, if you're going to play into his hands like that, it's over for you. It's not over for this series, though.
No, but it might be over for this map if Crew don't find success here. They've got to find a way to convert. But again, I'm reminded of the struggles they've had on the attacking side of Ascent. And yes, everyone has them, but it's just tough.
Yeah, nightmares of that playoff. I feel like it was Lev who kind of dismantled the momentum that Crew had in that stage 1 going into playoffs. Little awkward exchange right there. But this crossfire in mid might be too deadly Heat. He's sitting at 14 HP.
Left.
That dagger's gonna connect. Oh, free kill for FNS. The setups are too good. Cam to follow up.
And the spike's now sitting on the ground.
Yeah, this is too much.
Yeah, good luck getting through that.
One
MTA falls, Shy does too. NRG
10 seconds
presumably on map point here.
Yeah, it has to be. There's 5 seconds left. Yeah, Finesse gets taken out, but Crashies follows it up, and he's got a Hunter's Fury on top of that.
You mentioned in the previous round the money that NRG have to play with. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Money, 2 timeouts still. They've been in full control of this map from start to finish. And it was just too obvious. You shut a team down so many times at A. So many different ways that you shut them down as well. There was cat splits, there was A main hits off the rip, delayed ones as well. I mean, they're going to try B at some point of the match.
Right, and it's often going to be on the other side of a timeout when nothing else is worse.
Exactly.
So Crew on their last leg on Ascent. Shy has an ult, but he also just got a pepper. Down to 9 HP, no armor.
Yeah, that was from Catwalk, right?
I believe so.
That Odin spam.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Absolutely obliterated.
Again, Keznit has unfortunately been a non-factor on this attacking side.
Right here.
The duality of Jet.
Take flight.
Victor tucks that.
I mean, drone played that as perfectly as he could. That's the second shot. That's not settling. Finesse continuing to frag.
Give him a corpse. Guess he gets it.
He gets his 2. Shy still alive. And there's the lockdown. Ethan has to give some of the space back up. He's just playing in there. Tries to find a way out, and he does. 2 members here. Sam left in a 1v2 to close the map out. Again, reminder, Shy so weak and has been for a long time.
Spike planted.
Can he pull it off? This almost feels like a 1v1.
Yeah, he's got a smoke, a paranoia, and a TP, so he might be able to do some finessing on the actual site. Gets spotted by that alarm bot, and he's taking his time.
Plenty of armor, plenty of health. But a nice shot from Meltzer to keep Crew alive.
That little fadeaway wallbang. If he doesn't connect that headshot, it's surely over. He was sitting at 5 HP. But there needed to be an answer. And what a way to do it. It was Heat going up mid solo. That was the big gap there. NRG were not aware of it. They focused so many resources trying to get FNS out of B main. But they forgot that one blind spot. He was able to get the flank around, secure the round. But NRG still up 5 rounds, still on match point.
And again, I look towards Keznit. He's tried. I mean, he's trying to take space. He's trying to find kills. Vic falling first here. But Keznit has died first in the 7 rounds that they played on attack. He's died first in 4 of them. So if your Jet is not the one to be able to create space and be that spark, be that go, I mean, of course you're going to struggle.
Yeah, and it's not like he's even dashing on the execute. Like, he's dying before even getting that dash out. That's the key difference, right? It's to be known that you play this map on the attacking side, you dash in, everyone's looking at you and you die, but you have follow-up.
Right.
But he's been getting picked off in these mains or whether it be going mid to B with no real answer back, like no real trading. Such a hard map against fortified defenses. Cypher, he can be so annoying to deal with as well, those trips. I'm sure they make you play a little bit differently as the Jet as well. Good shots this time around, good molly. To get Crashies off the angle, but this dart could be deadly. Ethan, the double Odin.
Oh, there's that dash forward and Keznit falls again. You're right, the overwhelming pressure of the Odin is just too much. Finesse is going to be on the flank.
30 seconds
the alarm
left.
bot will spot him, but Crew, no real way to worry about or pay attention to or give credence to what's happening behind them. They have to focus on what's before them. MTA on the swing, Crashies dead. A 2v2, it's all on Finesse now. Crew survive for another.
Melzer swings into FNS at the end there, full confidence. He just knew he was going to get that one. That's a pretty risky play to make. Now FNS, he's left contemplating what went wrong in that round. And it was this start from Melzer. Beautiful entry. You can't hear that Omen teleport from so far away. This setup was really good. That was a trip and a dart from Crashies and FNS that set up that round. But MTA with that push in the spawn. It can be so hard to hear those footsteps when you're popping your Hunter's Fury. And although Keznit's having a pretty lackluster performance on this map, it's nice to see the man in smiles.
These last couple of rounds have given them reason to smile. You mentioned NRG had full control. They had 2 timeouts, now burning 1. They're right at the doorstep of their very first map win of the stage.
That's insane, by the way.
But can they get it over the finish line?
And to be fair, their strength of schedule was pretty tough, the teams that they had to play up against. But again, it's the nature of the game. You got to beat everybody if you want to be the best. And it all starts here.
Yo, y'all reacting to the dogs goes crazy. NRG on a lighter buy.
Yeah, Crew finally broke the economy of NRG. If they're able to win this round and win it clean, maybe a follow-up in the next, that all of a sudden puts you on 11, because NRG will be on a bad buy at that point. But Sam, he's had 20 kills. He's been kind of quiet because Crew haven't really ended at A. Let's see if they keep that up. Find Sam and go the other way. That's been the game plan lately for Crew.
Shadows traveling.
That's a little dart there, unexpected, tagging on a Melser. A little bit of early info, but so much time left in the round to adjust.
This is the adaptation from the timeout from NRG. See if there's anyone in A main. There was nobody there whatsoever. Now you're able to reposition, put Sam's focus elsewhere. I say that as he opts to go back into the A site and anchor it. And these A site holds, they were so good for NRG. The Crew have an answer this time around. Something tells me they don't.
I mean, the 5 rifles that they have might, though.
No way, Ethan's gonna disrupt this entire hit. Oh, he connects last second, but he gets traded out.
Now MTA popping the ult. Sam not tagged yet, but he understands where the threat is coming from. They might try to flip into spawn here. Look at Kesnet on the minimap. Crashy's ready for it, and he bets him with a Sheriff. Victor's in such a good spot. They're gonna thrifty their way into closing this map.
30 seconds left.
Just when it seemed like Crew had everything going for them. You were right, Trey. They didn't have enough for the hold.
Spike down.
And so Shy is the last thing standing between NRG and their first map win of the split. And it could not have come at a better time.
A must-need win. Must-needed for their own mental, for the organization, for themselves. They needed that one bad. And it was very convincing. 13-8 win. Just like how they lost against Split.
Sam and Finesse leading from the front for this squad. When you learned that they were going to be joining the fray, you knew there would be value added. And didn't think it'd be that. But lo and behold, I mean, that's what gets them over the finish line, and ultimately that's what matters. Vic and Ethan both dropping 5 first bloods throughout the entire map certainly helps the situation. We're going to take a look at a couple of these moments again, because as much as we thought the Crew were going to stay alive and they were going to be able to close things out, hey, NRG just stand strong.
Yeah, they got absolutely shut out on that defensive side. The setups for NRG all series long, even on that split, the defense setups were great.
Sunset to decide it all. Can NRG keep playoff hopes alive? We'll find out on the other side of this break.
Enemy remaining.